We often think we don't have enough space to live, and we believe we need to build more and more. However, our living environments are distributed unequally. While some people lack sufficient space, others have unoccupied rooms they don't use. Now, imagine a game where you take on the role of a resident, an investor, or an idealist, and have the power to influence real estate market dynamics. A game where everyone strives to achieve their individual goals, yet their actions impact the whole environment. Pieces on our design game are representing different parts of an apartment building, surrounding nature as well as the residents of the building and the events affecting their lives. Each player is representing one of the three different roles: the investor, the resident, and the idealist, who perhaps might be an architect. The players of the same role team up to make decisions that scores their group the most. However, at the end of the game, we count the sustainability points based on how good we did on the Donut Economics scoring board. Every player should work to keep them on the sustainable green part of the scale, because if the points end up either on overshoot or shortfall, all the players lose. With our design game, you can choose from different scenarios or different ways to play the game, and test how the scenario affects our ability to win the game and stay on the green part of the donut. In the scenario here, we have a prepared layout with centered stair cores, and we played with movable and fixed walls to see how they affect the ability to modify the apartments. At the first round of the game, each player places one family unit on the board and chooses a place for their starter apartment. Then after that, each round, you pull a chance card to either have new people moving in or old ones moving out, and you'll try to place them on the building the best you can. Different roles have different objectives on the game. Investor wants to introduce as many new units to the building as possible. The residents want to maximize the personal space. The idealist is interested in fulfilling both the needs of the residents and the investors, but also minimizing the need to build new rooms in the cost of the surrounding nature. As the game progresses, more pressure will be built upon the players to satisfy their roles. Unused room spaces from the initial apartments will be more rare, and to avoid overcrowding and the risk of a shortfall in the donut model, the option of building outside the boundaries will be attractive. However, invading natural and fertile areas, the so-called green fields, doesn't come without the cost. The risk of a natural disaster increased radically due to humans' activity in enhancing climate change, as in reality represented by flooding and forest fires. The player who decides to build will take a disaster card, which contains different scales of catastrophes. On the game shown, player has picked a medium disaster, eradicating the 4 touching squares to the 1 flipped green field. The apartments affected by this will get their families evacuated, and these fields won't be available for 1 turn. At the end of the game, you will count your collective points to see whether you manage to stay inside the green space of the donut. Too many crowded rooms lead to shortfall, and too many lost forest tiles to overshoot. And with either case, you all collectively lose the game, and no one gets the benefit from individual scores. No one wins when the world burns or sinks around us, or when the people don't want to live in the sustainable apartments we designed. We wanted to create a game which one could use to make a better understanding of flexible housing and to test both design ideas and to even collect data about how people would behave in a flexible apartment building. This game is still a draft, but it could be used as a tool to show the potential of flexible housing to different stakeholders around the world.